In today's episode of Trending Trove, we're going to feature 10 of the most expensive virtual items ever sold and what made gamers splurge on them. You might find it tacky and needless, but after investigating them, we believe they hold their value. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel by tapping the bell icon to make sure you never miss out on a new video and to look at all the cool content we have on our library. Number 10. Echoing Fury Mace, Diablo III, $14,000. For our first item, we look at the fan favorite game. It took Blizzard Games 13 years to make the follow-up to Diablo II, and they didn't disappoint. In this hack and slash game, you need to have high damage per second, DPS, and Echoing Fury Mace gives you that. It was found as a drop item on Diablo III that was rarely dropped. You could also buy it for only $250, but this changed quickly. The demand for the mace was high, and after changing hands a few times, it was put up on an auction. Players outbid each other in the auction, desperately trying to get their hands on it given its scarcity and strong stats. It featured a high bid of 40 billion in-game gold, or about $14,000. This was 56 times its base value. Not bad. The Echoing Fury Mace is still regarded as the most expensive game item in the entire Diablo franchise. Number 9. Sword, Age of Wulin, $16,000. A good warrior needs a good sword, even if he is adventuring in the virtual world. One such Chinese warrior, obsessed with the Age of Wulin series, wanted his hands on the game's prized dragon-slaying saber. He outbid everyone to secure rights for this prized in-game possession. But this is not even the most interesting part of the story. The unnamed buyer spent a fortune on an item in a game that was still in its beta launch. It certainly raised eyebrows. He was not the only one, as other players spent upwards of $1,600 on items like Spear Sheath and Hook of Departure. While these items were rare, this one-of-a-kind sword, the Dragon-Slaying Saber, was the real catch at $16,000. Number 8. Treasure Island, Entropia, $26,500. If you're thinking only the publishers make money off rare items, you could be forgiven to assume that. Gamers are also spending huge chunk of change for virtual real estate. You have to fulfill your wildest fantasies somewhere, and $26,500 is enough for you to have your own island, although one where you cannot physically set your foot in. This is exactly what David Story did, and he had a plan to go along with it. Now 10 years into the game, he has more than made his money back. The purchase of the island allowed him all the rights to the island, and he could tax other players for real-world money. It didn't make sense in 2004, but it was a shrewd acquisition by today's standards. Number 7. Etheral Flames Pink War Dog, Dota 2, $38,000. Dota 2 is one of the most popular multiplayer games of all time. This real-time strategy game has plenty of international tournaments hosted in modern sporting arenas. As many as 500,000 players play the game monthly. Like any multiplayer game, you would expect customized and rare items that help you in the game. But how do you set yourself apart when you have everything? You buy an in-game pet for an outrageous price. A gamer spent $38,000 on an in-game pet as his physical courier. The rarity of this Etheral Flame Pink War Dog goes to the fact that its colors were beyond the range set by developers. In combination with the unique Etheral Flame effect, the dog is one of a kind. Number 6. Amsterdam, Second Life, $50,000. It seems as if Amsterdam has the same lore in games as it has in real life. The drug capital of the world is a must-visit place for social drug connoisseurs. In the game's Second Life, it is an even more priceless location. As the name states, it is a user's personal representation in the digital realm, and one such gamer really put his heart and soul into it. He recreated the Dutch capital in the game, spending countless hours to achieve this feat. The attention to detail was mind-boggling, and the city with its numerous canals remain a breathtaking view. The creator's efforts were appreciated by a fellow gamer who paid $50,000 in real cash to acquire it. The gamer's user base is declining in recent years, but the efforts put in by players have not reduced. Number 5. Souvenir AWP Dragonlore Sniper Skin, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, $61,000. Some items are just for show, just like the in-game Dota 2 pet. The Souvenir AWP Dragonlore sniper skin is there for its beauty. You could not buy it outright, and it was gifted to a random lucky player at the end of a Counter-Strike Global Offensive tournament. At the end of one such event, it became available on the CS:GO auction site. It did not offer anything but pretty cosmetics, but that did not keep gamers away from bidding on it. For its visuals alone, it fetched $61,000 at the official auction. It might seem insane for us, but then again, people buy watches worth millions every day. Number 4. The Moon, Entropia, $150,000. Our next 4 additions are from Entropia. Its players really like to splash cash in the virtual sci-fi world for its in-game purchases. And players like to splurge when the moon is available. How could you not? You don't get a lot of chances to buy the moon. But will you spend $150,000 for a lunar real estate? One player did. He pulled money with other gamers and purchased the moon. This investor group now collects money from other players and gives them license to hunt and mine on their property. Number 3. Crystal Palace, Entropia, $330,000. Some bought the moon on Entropia and it opened a Pandora's box. Players and outsiders realized the potential of virtual real estate. It was clear as day that virtual real estate can also help you make bank. So when a space station becomes available, it's a bidding war. Almost everyone traveling in space needs to make pit stops, and owning a popular destination helps with tolls, taxes, and black market economy. The Crystal Palace was a popular destination in Entropia and a wayfare for players. It was unique with its economy, and insiders knew what they can make from it. They paid equivalent of $330,000 to outrightly own it. It was the highest sum paid for a virtual item in 2009 and caused quite a stir in the gaming world. Number 2. Club Never Die, Entropia, $635,000. A space station is good, but what if you have your own asteroid? And on that asteroid, there is a club in your name. Everyone respects you, and passing through pays you tribute. When they find anything on your asteroid, you're due commissions. This is what John Never Die Jacobs created on the $100,000 asteroid he created. He mortgaged his own home to purchase the digital real estate. It was going smoothly for Never Die. His club earned $200,000 annually. But after a decade playing the game, he wanted to move on and try new things. After all, new AAA games are launched every year, and it gets difficult to keep hooked on the same game forever. And when he decided to flip it over, fortune smiled on John. His hard work in crafting the place was appreciated, and Club Never Die would make him famous beyond Entropia. Its sale for $650,000 glossed the headlines of Engadget and other technology blogs. Number 1. Planet Calypso from Entropia, $6 million. If you were amazed at John Jacobs' sale of Club Never Die, you will be flabbergasted when you hear about the sale of Entropia's first planet, Planet Calypso. It was sold for a record $6 million. The planet had been operational since 2003 and had over 1 million registered users. This was a cash cow and was a money minting machine. Calypso generated over $4 million for its owners before the deal to sell it in player transaction revenue was reached, and it had not reached its maximum revenue, according to Virtual Worlds. They believed they can maximize its revenues and negotiated directly with MindArc Studios to secure its rights. In the end, the sale was not completed, yet it makes our list given the audacious numbers involved. So this is our list of the most expensive virtual items ever sold. It was definitely fun discussing these amazing items. Remember to subscribe to our channel and never miss out on all the amazing content we have in our library.